Okay, folks, hello there. Hello, welcome to, not that camera, that camera. Welcome to Song Surgery Part 2. I'm just going to wait a moment to check that you can all see me and you can all hear me, because I don't want to talk into cyberspace before I start this. And we are simultaneously broadcasting this evening with Relaxing Blues in Calgary, Canada. And the reason that I'm doing Throw Me a Line is because it's one of the most popular songs. I'm not saying it's the best, but it's certainly one of the most popular songs that I've ever released. And so I thought it would be nice to break it down in this Song Surgery series. So basically, you can see in here, okay, brilliant. We're reaching Facebook. If I get one message from YouTube, I know that we're in business with YouTube as well. I'll just put that mic bit there. So this song started life on an 8-track Porter studio in Highgate in North London in about 1992. And it was, we're reaching Hellmaker, that's great. We're reaching Relaxing Blues, we're reaching Facebook. Just like one message from YouTube, and then I know that we're reaching YouTube as well. So I had a Porter studio and a drum machine and what have you. And I wrote this song. And it came out on the Slide Away album, which is that one. Yeah, that was the first one that I released. The first version was on the album Slide Away. And I wrote another song which didn't go on Slide Away, called Sometimes, which was another kind of bluesy thing, another kind of very laid-back bluesy thing. Dieter Schoeney, Ian Parker, John Christie, Allentown, Pennsylvania, great. I wish someone would speak to me on YouTube. Maybe we don't need YouTube. Okay, I'm kind of treading water. I'm kind of pedaling, waiting for people to come on board. I want to see somebody speak on YouTube. So I recorded this song on a Porter studio in Highgate in North London in about 1992, and I released it on the Slide Away album. And then Austin, Texas, great. And then I had this other song, and I never knew quite what to do with this other song, which was called Sometimes, which was another kind of slow ballady blues thing. And when I recorded this version, which ended up on the 10 album, let's have a look at the 10 album. That's that one, okay. What I did was I merged Throw Me a Line together with a song called Sometimes. So we'll get to that, okay. So I think everybody's here. There's you. Yeah, YouTube's working, great, okay. So just to be clear, this isn't a performance stream, but I will be doing a performance stream tomorrow. This is a new series called Song Surgery, okay. And I break down my own music. I know other people are doing kind of what makes this song great. Rick Beato, who's amazing. I've got a lot of respect for Rick Beato, but I'm focusing on my music on these streams. Okay, so that's what's different about this. And I did do this in podcast form, audio, about 10 or 15 years ago, but you couldn't see any of the software. Okay, so let's have a look. Let's have a look. What's happening? Okay. Okay. So what we've basically got here is piano, drums, bass and lead guitar. I might just want to turn the music up a little bit. Let's just go to the mix there. We'll go to this one. Got the room correction on, beg your pardon. Hopefully that'll be enough. A little bit more maybe. It's a live show, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so let's have a listen to what we've got so far. So let me tell you at the beginning, let me tell you from the beginning that I did everything on this song, okay? I programmed the drums, I played the bass, I played the piano, I played the synths, obviously I played the guitar, and I did the vocals. And I wrote it, and I produced it, and I engineered it, and I mixed it. So everything on here is my own, is me. Although I credited the drums on the 10 album to somebody called Jerry Tickler. Now, Jerry Tickler doesn't exist. Jerry Tickler is me. I did the drums. But Hendrix's road manager was called Jerry Stickles. So I called myself Jerry Tickler as the drummer because I didn't want to kind of make a big song and dance about being a smart ass. But here we go. I'm being a big smart ass now, telling you. So let's just have a listen to the drums to begin with. Let's see. Can you hear everything okay, folks? Yeah, Rick Beato's great. Okay, so what's happening here is I have the drums here. Okay. But I've got another track here where I've got a digital delay on the snare drum, which if you're listening in stereo, you'll hear this digital delay go left and right. Yeah. Turn that up. It's got a bit of flange on it as well. Hear that? So it just gives a bit more movement to the drums. So we put the drums. So that's just the drums. Put the snare drum in with the delay. Okay. Left, right, left, right, left, right, like that. So that's your drums, and then we have a single Fender bass. Now that's going through amplitude, of course, which is frozen for CPU, saving the CPU. Okay, and then after that we have a piano. So let's hear it with the piano. Is it loud enough? Very good. Yeah. Yeah. So sparse. And there's a pad, a synth pad. There's a synth pad in there. Okay. So you've got drums, bass, piano, synth pad, and a lead guitar. Let's have a listen to the lead guitar. Yeah. Where's the lead guitar? There he is. Okay. This is the lead guitar on its own. Strat. Of course. Amplitude, of course, on the guitar. It's all amplitude. it's a 12 bar, ostensibly. It's a 12 bar. That's the strat that Rory Gallagher gave me, by the way. Okay, what happens next? Vocal. It's a little bit auto-tuned, I'm not going to lie to you. It's a little bit auto-tuned, but not much. Lot of reverb. That's what it's all about.
Show me a sign. Throw me a line.
So basically nothing's changed. You've got the intro, which is drums, bass, piano, pad, and lead guitar, and it remains drums, bass, piano, pad, guitar, and the addition of a vocal. Tiny fact here, ladies and gentlemen, for those who are interested in this kind of obsessive craziness. This guitar, this track features a Stratocaster, a Les Paul, and a Telecaster. And the reason that it features those three guitars is not because of me sitting there saying I'm going to use this guitar here and I'm going to use that guitar there. What it is that you play well on some days, and you play something that you like on some days, and you play something that you don't like on other days, and you may be playing a different guitar on each day. So you'll sit and you'll say to yourself, I'm going to try putting another guitar on Throw Me a Line, and you may happen to be playing the Les Paul, or you may happen to be playing the Telecaster. And when you keep all of the guitars, you compile all of the guitars that you want, you know. Then it happens to be that you've got different guitars on there. It's not a premeditated thing, but it kind of changes the flavor. Okay, so if we have a look at this, okay, you see the white and the green. Can you see the white and the green there? The white bits are the bits that I've silenced. Okay, so for instance, for those of you who know the song, let's see what's under this one. So this is going to be a different guitar. Which I ditched. Oops. Yeah, see why now. Yeah. Not important. So that's the original. Okay, so we're up to the vocals, yeah. Into the vocal. And the drug.
Throw me a line.
That's the Les Paul, you see. Different tone.
Show me a sign.
So
Got a shadow hanging over me. It won't let go of me.
that's the Strat again there, you see. Okay, so having established the song, as I say, with the drums, the bass, the pad, the piano, and the lead guitar, and then the vocal comes in. So then we go to the second verse, and now it's time to change something, to add something. So what did I do? Well, first and foremost, I added a vocal harmony.
leave you all behind.
Yeah. Big gaps when there's no backing, right?
To see what I find.
So the vocal, first of all, first thing that's happened that's different in the second verse is that the vocal harmonies come in. Typical. So it's a regular trick. So you've got this new thing here, which you'll get on the bow dow 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 dow. So just if you're interested in this, there's a vibraphone and a piano and a Fender Rhodes. Playing behind that guitar line. Now, quite a lot actually comes in on this second verse. First of all, what comes in is a guitar here that you can see I've got here, called Eno, as in Brian Eno, okay, who I have a lot of respect for. And it's a super clean ambient guitar. This is what I call the Eno guitar. So, yeah. And also, acoustics have come in. So the volume swells with the strap. Okay, so let's have a listen. Let's have a recap. We'll listen to that. We'll listen to that second verse with the vocals out. No vocals. Okay. So. Tambourine in there was doubling with the acoustics. So with the vocals,
To read between the lines. Got a shadow hanging over me.
Gibson.
Won't let
So
go.
some of it's a Strat, some of it's a Gibson, some of it's a Telecaster.
Won't let go of me.
Okay, so now we're going to this new part. Okay, what's happening here? Let's talk about what's happening here. We have this new guitar line. Let's hear this with the bass and the keys. You right, Ray? To F. Guitar line remains the same. D. G. Okay. So that's the other than the establishment of the 12 bar from the introduction in the first verse and a few additions of some things in the second verse, the main change happens here. It goes away from the 12 bar and it goes into this new thing, and it's got this new vocal in. And what's the vocal? Well, let's have a little listen, shall we, and see what happens.
of me.
There.
Help me, Father,
This is
make me stronger. I can't hold on any longer.
so basically what the song is about is the words of an atheist, a dying atheist. Well, it's the words of a dying atheist, but it's not just the words of a dying atheist. It's the words of a lost soul. And I have to tell you that the way that I felt and the way that I was feeling and the way that I was living when I wrote this song, I don't feel or live like that anymore. Which is why I don't write songs like this ever again. I don't feel compelled to drive songs. It's me singing. It's me singing. This is all my music, my lyrics, my production, everything. So,
Don't let go of me. Won't let go of me. Throw me a line stronger.
see, I call these.
Sure.
You see, I don't know if you can read that on the screen, but that's prayer 1, prayer left, prayer right, prayer high left, and prayer high right. Okay. So
Let go of me.
so this high harmony comes in on the vocal on this part. It's first verse again.
Throw me a line. Show me a sign.
So with that prayer in, help me Father, make me stronger, I can't hold on any longer. It sounds like this.
Help me. Throw me a line. Strong.
EQ, compression and reverb.
Show me a sign.
Google. Fuck off.
Throw me a line stronger. Got a shadow hanging over me.
Let's have a listen to the.
Help me, Father, make me
So
stronger. I can't hold on any longer.
So it's a dying atheist reaching out to God at the end. That's what you want. If you want to know what it is.
Show me a sign. Throw me a line.
1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Got a shadow hanging over me.
Okay, here's an interesting thing. Here's an interesting thing with the lead guitar. I've got to tell you that this solo, you can't hear me, Jeff. What do you need to tell me? Why can't you hear me? Can you hear me? Can everybody hear me? You can't hear me because the volume's too quiet, or you can't hear me because there's a technical problem with the stream. I'll continue until directed otherwise. So basically this guitar solo, okay, which is 80% of the guitar solo which is on the record because I can't find the finished version. It's very quiet. 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2, and it seems to be reaching 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. How's that? Is that any better? You can hear no problems. Okay, no problems. Okay, turn your computer up. So this guitar solo here is it's not double tracked in so far that it's played twice. Okay, what it is it's the same solo. If you listen, it's a Telecaster with an enormous amount of reverb and delay. But that's what I want. What I did is I don't know if you can see here, depending on how big your screen is. You see it says Fat Strat. Okay, I can categorically tell you it's a Stratocaster. Okay, it's a Telecaster. But I originally called it a Fat Strat because that's what I thought it was going to be. Copy of Fat Strat. Now, it may be that you can't see here, but where the pointer is, there's 3 zeros. Okay, and this guitar is panned hard left, and this guitar is panned hard right. Okay, so the two guitars are left and right, but it's the same guitar. It's not double tracked. It's the same guitar. Just it's an exact copy. But if you look at what's happening, you see this number 15 here. One guitar is delayed by 15th of a second. Okay, a 15th of a second. So I think it was Pink Floyd talked about this. It was Dave Gilmour talked about this, I think, about basically duplicating the guitar, sending it through 2 channels and delaying one channel a fraction of a second. And it makes it sound much bigger. Got me paranoid about the levels now.
Sometimes I feel like I could fly.
Okay, so now at the end of that solo, let's have a listen to the end of that solo because I was pleased with how this came out. We'll listen to the end of the solo with the guitar muted. That's a good idea. Piano. Reverse guitar. All right, Tommy. I wish I could show you something here. I'll try. You see, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you play an A minor, your guitar's out of tune. Sue me. I like to do key changes in thirds, okay? I mean, you can do a key change, a semitone, you know, like... It's more exciting, but it's not... If you think about an A minor, the minor third, the minor third is C. So if you make your key change a third, so in this instance, an F sharp minor, it's got a C sharp in there, which is the major of C. We haven't gone into a major key. We didn't go into a major key. We went to another minor key. But that minor key has the major third of the previous... That minor key has the major third of the previous minor key. So you got the A major of the C sharp. And it just makes it a little bit more... It makes it stand out a bit more. we've gone in to the last part of the song, and it's basically back to the original established idea of the drums, the bass, the keys, and it's got the ambient guitar and the acoustics. But now we've gone into this whole new vocal thing. Okay. It sounds like it's gone into a completely different key, but what it's done is it's just gone back to the original key.
Sometimes I feel like I could fly in the night. Sometimes I wish that I could lay down and die.
Let's listen to those vocals on their own with, let's go all ethereal and have keyboards, guitars and vocals only.
Sometimes I feel like I could fly in the night. Sometimes I wish that I could lay down and die. Sometimes I think it's 'cause I want things this way. Love in time will always fade away. Now I'm sitting here, I'm all alone. Should have listened to you long ago.
That line, sometimes I wish I'd never seen your face, was for my first wife.
Throw me a line. Show me a
Okay, I've thrown everything in but the kitchen sink at this outro.
sign.
Okay.
Throw me a line.
How many voices are in there? 1, 2, 3,
Got a shadow hanging over me.
1, 2, 3, 4, 6 voices. 7.
Won't let go of me, Father. Make me strong.
You see this descending line here? You see this descending line? I'm going to tell you something. You see that descending line? That's the fade out, right? That's the fade out. That's the fade out. Look at that line. You draw it in with a pencil, like that. Okay. I was working in a studio in London. People in England, to all my English people who are tuning in, who've heard of a guy called Alexis Corner. I was working in a studio in London which was owned and run by Alexis Corner's son. And for the life of me, I can't remember his first name. But he told me this. He said, when you do a fade out, it was called Route 1 Studios, and it was just around the corner from Wormwood Scrubs prison. Wormwood Scrubs Prison is where the picture on the front cover of Gary Moore's Back on the Streets was taken. But I digress. And he said that Alexis, his father, taught him this thing that he had learned from working at the BBC. And that is, when you do a fade out, you stagger it. Okay? You don't just draw, you don't just draw a straight line like that, and that would be a fade out. Yeah, that's really quick, right? That's really quick, but you stagger it so it goes down in stages like that, and the ear gets accustomed to it, and it has some kind of trick on the psychology. I've done that on every fade out I've ever done. I've used that BBC thing that Alexis Corner taught his son, and his son taught me to do your fades like that, you know, rather than just straight down. It's a more gentle thing. Nicholas Corner could have been. It could have been Nicholas. I don't think it was Nicholas. And he had a sister there called Sylvia. So I mean, that's pretty much the end of it, you know. There's a couple of other things that I thought we might look at in Damien Corner. That's right, you got it, Jeff. It was Damien Corner. Yeah, good engineer. I just want to talk about this key change again. So I said, you know, about if you're playing in a minor key and you want to make a key change, if you want to make it dramatic, make it a third down in the minor key. So you're playing an A minor, you change the key to F sharp minor, and it's still minor. You haven't gone into a major, but it means that the C sharp of the major of A is in that new minor chord. So just listen to how it works. Here it is. So that's it, basically. That's the construction of Throw Me a Line as per the album 10. What keyboards have we got in here? We've got a Fender Rhodes. We've got the old, and that's doubled up with the vibraphone. It's got a piano playing it, and it's got the pad. That Rhodes is playing the guitar line as well. Yeah, so that's it. That's it basically. If you want to hear the track in its entirety, yes, it's going from A minor to F sharp minor. It's going from A minor to F sharp. Yeah, Alexis Corner is a musical legend. How long did this track all take? Good question. Months. You do a bit, then you leave it, then you do a bit, and you get despondent, you get depressed, you do a bit, you think it's the best thing you've ever done, you do a bit more, you think you've ruined it, so you leave it, and then you go. So it's step by step by step, you know. A friend of mine said, there's a quote, I don't know if it was my friend who said this, but he said, works of art are never completed, they are merely abandoned. When you kind of get to that point where you can't do anymore, you start overcooking it or whatever, you know. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. What have we got here? Well, I'll tell you what, the first version of this appeared on an album called Slide Away, which is available on Bandcamp. I also have it on CD if you're interested in that. Oops, it's the wrong one. Which one? Oh, one. And then there's this one. This is the album on Bandcamp. The version on 10 is the version that we're dealing with here. Hello, Pied Scooter. Stuart Cochran. Yes, it was recorded in this studio. I programmed it all. The drums were Superior Drummer 2. I've now got Superior Drummer 3. So you hear that snare with the echo on it. What I did was I duplicated. Oh, hang on a second. I've gone to the wrong bloody thing. Look, hey, come on, lad, get yourself back into there. Sorry about that. Echo snare, you can see there. So I put it on a separate track so I'd have a bit more control over it, and it really gives it a bit more movement. Yeah, that's it. I hope you enjoyed that. So, like I say, the sound, Neil, hello sound, is people joining the show now. People joining the show as it's coming to an end. So yeah, it's on Bandcamp. The version that we're doing today is on the 10 album. Thank you, Jeff. I'm glad you liked that. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And the original version, the slightly more simplified version, is on the Slide Away album, which is also on Bandcamp. But if you go to my website, you can buy them both on CD. You constantly play it. That's what I like to hear. In what year was this recorded? 2009, I think, 2008. Because it came out on the album 10. It came out on the album 10. It's getting rid of me. Don't need that. Go away. Came out on the album 10 in 2010. So I think I finished it in 2009, and I probably started it in 2007, and kind of edged it along bit by bit, you know. So if I press this one, who's that? Okay, there you go. That's all, thanks. That's all. I hope you've enjoyed that. I've got more coming, I'll tell you. Got plenty more in the pipeline. I got about 10 or 15 of these streams to do, which I hope you would like to watch. And I hope you enjoy them, and I hope they're informative, and it's nice for me to look back at what I did. I can't remember doing a lot of it because it was such an intense time. So, okay, so that's all. I will be doing a live performance guitar stream Sunday night, 7 o'clock. That's tomorrow, 7 o'clock, Easter Sunday. You will not find the coronavirus in my live guitar stream. Anyway, it's nowhere to be seen. Oh, I just mentioned it now. So, live guitar stream tomorrow, 7 o'clock. If you're watching on Relaxing Blues in Calgary via Calgary, Canada with Relaxing Blues. The live guitar stream will also be going through there. We're going to be streaming everything through Relaxing Blues in Canada simultaneously. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. I think the next song surgery that I'm going to do is going to be a track called Winter Break, Homework Bound, which has Jim Drummond on drums and Kenny Hutchison on bass. There's a lot of stuff in there, but not only am I going to be breaking down the audio, I'm going to be breaking down the video as well in some capacity. So you should enjoy that. There's a lot for me to concentrate on. I'm glad you enjoyed it, folks. Please stick around. We're all locked down, apparently. Although some people like that kind of thing. And I'll be back tomorrow at 7 o'clock. That's 7 o'clock tomorrow if you're in the United Kingdom. 8 o'clock if you're in the EU, which if you're not in the EU, you're living in Britain. Or 2 o'clock New York time, or 11 o'clock Los Angeles time. And unfortunately it's about 3 o'clock in the morning in Australia. So I'm sorry about that. So what I'm going to do now... Oh, it takes a lot of work, Scotsman. It takes a lot of work. And obsession and craziness. Okay, so I'm going to hit the night button. And I'll see you all tomorrow. Is this going to work, or is this going to... Oh, no, look, it's a mess. What a disaster. Okay, so see you tomorrow. Like, subscribe, share, discuss, be nice. If you don't like it, go somewhere else. That's what I do. Let's not be nasty. Life's too short. Now I'm going to press the fancy pants button. Here we go. See you tomorrow.